SuperErotic.com.
What's Spider-Man Brand New Day at right now?
Odin.
It's about 1.2 billion on the numbers.com, but
that's not international.
Global box office is tracking internationals, and so it's actually up to 1.3 billion already before the weekend has even come in. So it's tracking to do well over 1.5 billion by Sunday, maybe upwards to 1.6, 1.7, maybe. This thing is just it honestly. I mentioned this in my video today. It has a shot at 3 billion. It's still a long ways away from that.
Crazy.
It's a long ways away from that, just for the record. But let's just say at this point, it's guaranteed at least 2.5.
It's got a long runway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's got runway, and it's gonna like see what the drop is like too, right? Because what's the projections? 58,
Looking good. Yeah,
percent drop. That would be
small.
Crazy for a number that for a movie that opened that that.
Mm-hmm.
But go ahead,
Absolutely.
Chad. I'm sorry I interrupted.
Oh no, it's just insane. Like this must be breaking records because in my memory, I can't think of something going this crazy. And it's also like, I don't think it's a good film now. I've been thinking about Spider-Man, but it obviously is delivering enough. There's been enough interest in the brand that people are showing up, and it's bonkers to me. I'm actually like,
well, it's connecting with people.
It's connecting with people emotionally, and there's certainly issues with it. And we've talked about those things, but there's I think for a lot of people when they watch this, despite some of the stuff they had with Jean Grey and maybe some plot stuff, some rush stuff here, I think overall they take a lot away from the movie because of the emotional story they're telling with Peter Parker and Spider-Man. And I think most people are coming away from this thinking the Spider-Man stuff in it was good, even if they didn't like some of the other stuff.
That's right.
And it's a Spider-Man movie. And I think that's why we're seeing what we're seeing, is most people are feeling that way. Will people feel this way about the movie 1 year from now, 2 years from now, 10 years from now? I don't know, but that's what people are feeling right now.
Yeah, it seems like the surface level stuff where people aren't thinking too much about it. They see Spider-Man kicking ass, is swinging, his outfit is cool, and there are emotional beats that they're picking up on that they're not thinking about too much. That's satisfying. And my experience for that at the moment, with what I think is actually kind of a bad season, but I'm enjoying the surface level of stuff that is hooking me in still, is House of the Dragon season 3. And so I can understand that, okay, if it's delivering just enough of the surface thing that's satisfying people, that seems to be enough because we've had so much crap lately.
Yeah. Well, the parts that I love about the movie, that's what I think about more when I walk out of the Spider-Man. I'm not thinking about all the Jean Grey stuff and all that. As we can talk about. And I think you said it last week, Ryan, where you were like, it's much easier to break down all the things you don't like, but the things that you like, you kind of go like that really it nailed it for me. And then you think about how positive that is for you.
You compliment the execution of what they did. And you liked what they did.
You don't break it down.
Whereas when you don't like something, you can be like, well, they could have done this, they could have done this, they could have done this. Think about how this affects that. Yeah. So there just are inherently more things to dig into, and people all have different opinions on how they could have fixed it. But look, to me, people are like, I can't believe it's doing so well. Well, Marvel made a movie about male loneliness.
Mm-hmm.
They made a movie about male loneliness that is not just about like relationships, that's also just about friends and things like that, in an era where that's a big problem in today's world. And it's kind of surprising that Marvel put something like that on full display, and not like, oh, it's because he's actually just like a piece of shit. No, he's a fucking hero, and he's like doing these things, and he sacrificed to do this stuff. But they still made a movie about male loneliness and the effects that can have on people, which I think is wild.
Without disparaging him.
Yeah.
Without crapping on the character.
Yes.
At the same time, which is it shouldn't be crazy, but it is in these days. So
yeah, and Spider-Man isn't judge, jury, and executioner, so we can definitely argue till the end of time. And I would agree with most of the arguments about letting Jean Grey go.
Oh yeah.
But up until then, as an adaptation for, I said it, I can't believe I used the word. I'll never use it again. So I'll say Spirit of Spider-Man as an adaptation from the comics. It's one of the better ones. It's not the best, and it is kind of surprising that this movie's it has numbers over No Way Home. That's a little surprising, but I think it's what Ryan said. I think it's that emotional connection, and it is steamrolling right now.
Oh yeah, it makes you think back to No Way Home too, and that film would have probably been at this level had COVID not been happening. Like that like really, it makes the numbers they did that much more impressive. But then also makes you think about how much audience was suppressed because of all the lockdown nonsense that was still going on at the time.
I think this also reflects something interesting about what the box office can achieve when you do have building momentum from previous films that were mostly well received, and so it seems like there's a lot of people that really wanted to see what was going to happen after No Way Home. No Way Home ended on a bit kind of a cliffhanger with this open, crack in the door to see, okay, what's happening now, and like it just makes me wonder what Marvel could be at if they didn't just royally destroy so much that if they even had just mediocre films where each one builds on the momentum bit by bit. You have this because so much like the box office was so huge just on the opening weekend. That's not like people hearing word of mouth the film's really good. That's people just showing up because they want to see the film right away. And so look at what can be done. Like you don't screw the pooch and make something half decent with a previous record. You can get something like this.
I think though we're getting to a place where we're starting to see that there is the superhero movies, there's superhero fatigue. But there is no Spider-Man fatigue, where Spider-Man isn't even a superhero movie anymore per se, because it's its own thing. I mean, they put Yelena in this, they put Jean Grey in this. I feel like the Disney elements very clearly hijack the movie because they're trying to soft launch these other projects that get you excited for Doomsday and whatnot. But like Spider-Man has never been lower than everything else, but X-Men has been. And I think that's something a lot of people have underestimated. X-Men has not always been a box office hit. So going into X-Men, the new X-Men, they needed to hype this up. They needed to set this up. Apocalypse dropped at a time when, it was rising tides lifts all ships. And Dark Phoenix dropped around the same time as we had Joker, Joaquin Phoenix. The Spider-Man this movie was hijacked by Disney. People just love Spider-Man that much. And that the normies, Disney fans, the chuds, everyone loves Spider-Man. So, and that's when we all like the Spider-Man parts, but we don't like the Disney parts.
No, I mean, the fanboy goggles will be on, but when you have him in his mask the whole time and it's actually part of the movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ryan, you pointed out he's Spider-Man in this movie. He's not really Peter Parker very much.
Yep.
And that fucking helps when the costume looks great. We're not looking for high art here. That doesn't excuse not having a good story. You still have to have a good story. I don't think it's the greatest Spider-Man movie ever made, but again, I like the Watts trilogy. I'm not that connected to. I'm just not, because I'm a comic fan and it's reverse Spider-Man origin. It is really bizarre trying to shoehorn it, and I believe that the company that owns Spider-Man should adapt him the most accurately, not the most inaccurate.
Those are also boring movies that spend so much time.
Far From Home is that's the strength of Spider-Man. Actually not, because Far From Home is better than Amazing Spider-Man 2, but Far From Home made over $1 billion and it was a footnote after Endgame, but it was still coming off of Endgame.
That's why. It really 6-8 weeks after Endgame, right? It was really quick.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think that helped it, but look, the first one did really well. Homecoming, how much did that make at the box office? Like
Homecoming did well.
800 million or something.
No, it did $1 billion.
Yeah.
Homecoming did?
Yeah, Homecoming.
Yeah, Far From Home did 1.1 billion.
Well, I know
Homecoming did 878 million.
Yeah, thank you, Odin.
It did make $1 billion?
I knew I should have
adjusting for inflation
myself. Fuck all that.
Dude,
I thought it was a hit.
Amazing Spider-Man 2. Yeah. Amazing Spider-Man 2, because the budget was lower for that one, and they were making it a John Hughes, and like the first time I heard that, I'm like, oh god. But just remember, what issue did Peter Parker graduate from high school?
17.
Chat. Do. What issue did Peter Parker graduate from high school in Amazing Spider-Man? You don't have to guess the year. Molten Man's on the cover.
So basically the question is, how many stories did we have of Peter Parker in high school before we had adult Spider-Man?
42. Someone said 42.
Yeah.
It's not 42.
100, 22, 69.
Yeah,
A lot of
69.
69s.
That's it.
3 and 1 are mentioned as well.
So bad. Now I got to double check myself.
I don't even know.
No, it's either 28 or 38. Hang on.
What's Clark Kent's middle name?
Nerd card revoked.
It's a hyphen. Cal hyphen L. Okay.
Yeah, 420.
But in principle, Gary,
6'7".
the point you're making is that of all the Spider-Man stories we've ever had, only like 3% of them are
Issue
less.
28, by the way.
Yeah.
Issue
Go ahead.
28. I was right the first. I should have trusted myself, Ryan.
Exactly.
Because I just saw the issue last night. I was going through the back issues, and so they'll put that in. It's at now to 1,000 issues.
Right.
That's how long he was in high school, and that was all Steve Ditko's stuff, by the way. We can get it. We'll get into that later. Some of Steve Ditko's politics made it into my Amazing Spider-Man. Radical individualist, we'll just say. A little bit of a hardcore libertarian. Basically, he's Rorschach. So go on.
But your point is, we always like, that seems to be the go-to is, hey, we got to have young Spider-Man, we got to have high school Spider-Man, origin story, blah, 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 where it's like, well, it's not that it's not important, but Spider-Man as a kid is a microscopic part of the overall Spider-Man stories that we've had. And it's great to see adult Spider-Man. And I think that's what you liked a lot about this movie, Gary, that it was Spider-Man and not Spider-Boy.
Mhm.
At this point, finally, it felt that way in the MCU.
Yeah, and again, it's we have to factor in that everything's been shit. But Amazing Spider-Man 2 did what, $717 million worldwide, and that's a giant piece of shit. And that still did pretty well, but not well enough for them to continue. And they were desperate, and that's why they made the deal with Marvel. And this movie's going to be a monster. So there's no Spider-Man problems out there now. There's going to be some X-Men problems in the future.
Oh yeah.
We could certainly get into that. But hey, you know why everybody watched the movie, right? Did you go see that new Zendaya movie, guys? Spider-Man, Brand New Day.
Which one? There's so many out right now.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
Rob Life, that's the tweet you're talking about, right, Gary? I love that Rob is just so clearly like the axe that he has to grind now because he didn't get invited to a fucking party. He didn't get his name on the list. Was the name on the list or name in the credits? He didn't get invited to that party, wasn't
He didn't get invited to a party. So
That's
his name were on the credits.
Mm.
His name was on the credits, but he didn't get invited to an after party by Kevin Feige, and he got so miffed he went on a 3-month tear about his podcast about Kevin Feige losing his fastball. And he's not wrong, but his motivation was, I didn't get invited to a party. But Rob Liefeld is just purely a numbers guy. So if something is popular in numbers, it has to be good, which is not true at all. But he's obviously people are underestimating Zendaya's draw at the box office with Spider-Man Brand New Day and the Odyssey. It's like, oh yeah, I went and saw that new Zendaya movie, The Odyssey.
He's a good hype man for anything that's already winning.
Yeah.
It's like,
Exactly.
oh, Zendaya. You guys love Zendaya.
Well, I don't know. He tried desperately to like hype the DCU, like
Yes.
just out of pure spite when he started going against Marvel, and that has not ended up very well. Like that has not gone well for him.
Yeah, he put up a post saying, and he's not the only one. I caught Variety saying the same thing. So you're going to see, like with Scarlett Johansson, they're like, she's the most bankable star in Hollywood. They're going to say that about Zendaya at the end of the year.
Well, it's just because she's a name, she gets instantly chosen for everything.
Uh-huh.
And so the IPs carry her along, and they can point to her record and how much money she's made, but she's not the one doing the work.
No,
she's not the
but it's
lead.
important to point this out because this is how Hollywood sees things. They're like, well, she's in all these billion-dollar movies. She must be the reason they're
She's
billion-dollar
got a
movies.
lot of followers.
Then tell me
on
why the
Instagram.
drama that she was in earlier this year only made 100 million. Now, for that movie, that was actually
good.
pretty good.
Yeah, that was a
but
pretty
it's
good
still
movie.
only 100 million globally. So again,
Blame
Is
the
that the
white
one-
people.
Is that the one where the two guys are like falling?
No,
down?
it's Robert- it's the one with Robert
that was
Pattinson.
Was it Challengers?
that was Challengers. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard the drama with her and Pattinson's actually good. I haven't seen it though.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
People are 100% underestimating the box office draw of Zendaya. She's a box office monster draw.
Well, if we're going by that logic, then Florence Pugh we should get Thunderbolts 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yep.
Just for
I mean, I agree to a certain extent. Like Zendaya is popular with younger demographics, but she's not the reason that Spider-Man is doing.
No,
Like-
nobody's going. You know what?
Not the reason.
I am going to Doom Part 3 because of Zendaya.
Exactly, it
and
doesn't
she's
make any
actually
sense.
in that movie. But nobody's saying that about the Odyssey.
Yeah.
Where she just scowls the entire movie and shakes her head.
Well, if this was true, you'd also see complaints about it because she's not in the movie that much. It's
Right.
like, well, I'm actually really disappointed. She should have had a bigger role and everything else. And you see, no one's even really talking about her at all when it comes to the rest of the movie.
Yeah, it's like obviously this is retarded.
Just like what do you do?
It is not like yeah.
Just to confirm.
It is not Zendaya that's doing this, but look, she's on a crazy run. Like you can like say we don't like her, whatever. Like the fact that she's in these movies is just it's circumstance, and it just so happened to be this way, but it's pretty crazy.
Her agent
she's going to be in some of the biggest.
Thank her agent.
Thanking her agent.
And we talked about it before. I think that one of the reasons Zendaya gets cast is because she's like double check mark, right? Female and racially ambiguous, right? So they get that. In my experience, and I'm sure people can dig up clips or random stuff or whatever, she doesn't say anything PR wise that gets people in trouble.
Nope.
I'm sure she has her own political opinions or whatever, but it's just I don't really hear her talk about them or hear her say them, especially in interviews about like the movies. And I think that shit just goes a long way. And people are like, hey, that's kind of a safe person to cast for us. It gets us a little checkbox. She gives a fine performance and she doesn't say anything wrong. And she's got a bunch of followers on Instagram. So I think that's how they come up with this stuff.
I think we should let her headline her own movie and see if this tweet holds up.
Yeah.
Tom has also said that studios like employing them together because they're always together, so they're really easy to organize and everything else.
They got good chemistry.
There's a lot of social interaction with what they do on the red carpet. People like that relationship
really good.
and playing off, and so you get good press just from both of them being there at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, some of the stuff from like even the older Spider-Man's ones when they were just kind of dating or what really let anybody know. There's like some really funny clips from there. Like when I don't know if you've seen the one. I don't know if it's for a recent one, but they're doing, hey, name these lyrics. And they go through a couple and are doing lyrics and they're trying to answer questions. And they do one and it's a Zendaya's biggest song that she did. And Tom Holland and the actor played Ned, they're sitting there and they're like, I don't got any fucking clue. And she's like, guys, that's my song. And they're just like, I don't know what to say. Tom Holland just looks completely uncomfortable. It's good. There's some funny stuff that they've done.
They've got good chemistry on and off camera.
I think so.
Yeah, that's why they get paired up.
And they're not a pain. Yeah, we didn't see any bullshit marketing for Spider-Man.
Well, Ruffalo, nowhere to be seen.
Nowhere to be seen.
None of the material. What happened?
Yeah.
There you go.
A wise choice.
And that's not me saying that I think Zendaya and Tom Holland have like politics that mirror my own or something.
Right.
No.
But I'm sure that they're in line with pretty much everybody else that's in that industry. I just don't really see too much of that or hear too much of that in any stuff where they're promoting movies. And I think that's the most important part.
Well, that was what was impressive to your point. Like everything for this Spider-Man movie was just happy, fun Spider-Man. Go see Spider-Man. Isn't it great having Tom Holland and Zendaya together? Isn't that awesome? Isn't it fun? Yeah. There was nothing controversial. Not a peep out of them.
And it's doing really well. What a crazy scenario.
Who would have thought?
Nobody could have predicted this. You be positive about a movie and don't trash the fans.
And even the element of embracing it, right?
Yeah.
One of the reasons that this movie was the way it was is because Tom Holland had seen so many fans asking for a more ground level, like street level, city friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And I think especially in the beginning, they speed run some of that to show you the last couple years. But I think they do give you a good vibe throughout the entire thing that the people love Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Yeah. That he's really helped the city. Now it's hurting him, like personally, but yeah, go ahead.
I do think though, because we've heard that and we hear what the feedback is around that. I think there was two flaws that came out of that. And I don't think Tom Holland was associated. You could feel that this movie was plussed to death. So the Marvel plussing where here's a scene. They may not have anything to do with each other, but we're going to smash them together. So it may not flow. And I also think that's why we love the Spider-Man scenes so much, because that was the Spider-Man scenes. But the other part is the little potatoes line, the, your small potatoes stuff. That was what I thought being meta. Because, we hear you guys don't want multiversal Spider-Man. You don't want space Spider-Man. So if we tell you he's small potatoes, that just reinforces this is your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Your ground level.
But you don't exactly. All you have to do is show it.
Well, you're asking too much with that. Show
it. Clearly I am.
Hollywood.
I think that we're like that line has been the focus of so much stuff. And it's going to be interesting to see how the new Avengers are portrayed, because to me, at the end of Thunderbolts, this whole new Avengers thing seems like just such a gimmick, and these fucking idiots are just being like propped up. And I think this idea that Yelena is acting this way because they've got their new tower and they're the new Avengers, I think that could be an indication of how the new Avengers are going to be perceived by people and going forward. But I don't know. And ultimately, Peter, like, Spider-Man is the street level guy. Like, it doesn't mean he doesn't team up with people, but it's much more rare than like for some other characters out there. He really is focused on the stay-at-home shit. He doesn't work too well with others because he protects his identity so well. Like, he doesn't want to get involved.
Yeah, and it shows. Okay, so in the comics, every time they had a big cosmic event, they ground everything afterwards.
Yeah,
right. They spread it. You'd have your after effects, and this is what Marvel's needed to do forever. I would rather have small potatoes, and I would eat my small potatoes rather than giant, like, meteor-sized turds floating around, which is the multiverse. And I mean, even Kevin Feige said no to the multiverse on this one. Sony wanted it,
right?
And they're like, we're
Tom Holland said no too, but Kevin Feige said no, and I'm sure they didn't make fun of his hat, but that's why it's resonating with people. And it's not logical, and not all emotional connections are, right. That's if you want an explanation. I think a much harder explanation is explaining other movies, like how Toy Story 5 makes $1 billion. I don't understand that. I honestly,
parents feel like it's safe to take their kids to.
Okay,
it's Toy Story. It's recognizable. Well, you look.
There's a toy sex scene in it.
Well, hey, you didn't know that when they were going in.
Yeah.
But you compared Toy Story to Hoppers, right? So you had two Pixar movies come out around the same time. Hoppers tanked because it's new. We don't know. We don't feel safe with that. And you shouldn't. It was garbage. But then Toy Story 5, I love Woody. I love Buzz. The parents now grew up with this stuff, so they feel safe going and taking their kids.
And that's a little more like, okay. And then Minecraft was basically a meme that almost carried it to $1 billion.
Yeah.
But a lot of slop is still getting to $1 billion. Yeah. Like, and again, not to go in on Avatar, but I will. I don't understand that. I don't understand the appeal of it. I don't understand why people like it. It's not a memorable story.
No.
Well,
it's
over. You saw James Cameron talking about that this week.
Moving on to other.
Which to me,
I didn't see.
I think this one didn't perform the way they expected it to.
I don't think it made money.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Either it didn't, or it made so little that they know if they make another one, it's not like it's going to do better than this one. Like, it's just going to slowly fade away.
They've been losing like $700-800 million every film. Like, between each of the films, you went from like over $3 billion or almost $3 billion to
so
like 1.5. It's just crazy how much money is lost.
We could laugh at Disney then for building Pandora Avatar into the park, because they thought there was going to be like 6 movies on Avatar. They spent all this money putting in the rides, and it's fizzled out after 3.
It did once they got their hands on it. Yes. And it's strange. Diminishing returns even on James Cameron's Avatar. You know what? He's seeing fucking Nolan. He's seeing Nolan doing original work, and everybody thinks Nolan's like, and he is. He's the king of Hollywood, and he's like, shit.
He should have been doing this.
I'm now going to do my own projects.
But they were kind of pitched in similar ways. So Avatar was sold as a big event, like this is launching 3D. It was new technology.
Yep.
People hadn't got bored of CGI and stuff yet. Whereas the Odyssey was IMAX 70mm. There's only 34 screens in the world, to the point where even on the red carpet, they had to go, no, you can watch it in normal screens as well. Well, I know we've only been pushing this. And I think there is an element of people get wrapped up in an event. If it feels like everyone's going to see it, they don't want to miss out on it. And that is your diminishing returns. Once you eventually get down to, okay, I don't really like 3D anymore. I've seen CGI everything, so it's not impressive anymore. It gets down to the actual story, which has never been Avatar's strong point.
No, and one of the reasons people, well, besides it being very expensive and cumbersome with a big camera, the reason people don't shoot entire films on IMAX is because it's limiting. It's limiting on time, and it's limiting on how you can shoot things. And Nolan can get away with it, but I don't think Daniel Dennis Cretton or whatever his name is can get away with it.
There was an interesting because they were talking, well, there was only like a minute and a half of footage left in the bank. Like, are you going to renew it? It's like, well, this scene won't fit into 90 seconds. So they went to Christopher and they're like, well, how do we do it? He just goes, speak faster. It's like, well, that's not a reason.
Somebody get these beggars out of here.
Nerderotic.com. Please subscribe.